Yep, that's me, Bugcatcher Rick, and this is the story of how the world's greatest bugcatcher became Kanto champion. For a little more context, I was doing this challenge based on SkaloTV's Bugcatcher Rick series, so I had some rules set into play. I can only use a bug type in this game if he used it in his series, and I can only use a move on a bug if his bug used that same move in the series. To start off, I named myself Rick, and I named my rival Atzel. And my first Pokemon was... Eevee? Wait, this isn't a bug type. I don't want it. After doing a bunch of other stuff, such as fighting my rival, I finally made it to my home, Viridian Forest! Once in Viridian Forest, I caught my first several team members, being Metapod and many Weedle. After that, I quickly made my way through the rest of Viridian Forest and reached my next checkpoint, Pewter City. Once in Pewter City, I decided to go against Brock right away, but I didn't have a grass or water type, so I had to run back to Viridian Forest to grab a Bellsprout. But after I had caught my Bellsprout, we got our first evolutions. Then I finally made it back to the gym, and with the Bellsprout in my party, we were finally allowed to participate in the gym. You're going down, Brock! Are you, Brock? My plan for Brock's gym was simple. Send out Weedle and Kakuna, and spam Poison Sting and hope that his Pokemon get poisoned. And the plan worked for Geodude, but Onix was a different story. His Onix did more damage than any of my Weedle could take, but Kakuna was able to survive one hit, and that meant I had one turn to attack, and I'd have to get his Onix poisoned to even have a chance of victory. And my one chance was a success, so now I just had to potion heal stall against him. And just like that, Onix fell before my bugs, granting us the victory and our first gym badge. The gym battle also gave us a few more extra evolutions. Then I made my way east to Mount Moon, and there I got my next team member, Paris. While in Mount Moon, I got some more evolutions, which gave me a much needed strength boost. Shortly after, I finally escaped Mount Moon, and then I made my way to Cerulean City where I ended for the first day. To start off day 2, I did a little bit of level grinding and got my Metapod to evolve into Butterfree. Then I made my way to Nugget Bridge where I battled my rival, Atzel. After I beat my rival Atzel, I made my way through the rest of the Nugget Bridge, then proceeded to went to Bill's house to help him out, and then he gave me some tickets to the SSN. Then I made my way to the Cerulean Gym for my second gym badge. For my battle with Misty, I didn't really have a plan at all, just send out my bugs, attack, and hope that we win. And just like that, I beat Misty. It was a little bit of a close battle, but I got my badge nonetheless. Afterwards, I went south to Vermilion City, made my way to the SSN, and began exploring the ship before ending for the day. To start off day 3, I finished exploring the SS Anne, and I began my battle with my rival, Atzel. And to be honest, because of his Pidgeotto, this was a really close battle. But once my buds overcame his bird, it became a pretty easy, yet still a close battle. Then I made my way to the captain's quarters. I gave him a little bit of a back rub, and then he taught me how to cut down a tree. Then I made my way up to Lieutenant Surge, and then I took a break for a couple of hours. To start off day 4, I finally made my way out of the Rot Tunnel. Then I made my way to Lavender Town, where I saw a mysterious Cubone enter a mysterious tower, with Atzel following it. So I decided to follow them in. Then, once I made my way inside, I met with Atzel, where he challenged me to yet another battle. His first Pokemon, Pidgeotto, was an extremely annoying enemy. Then there was Raichu, which was taken down with barely any effort. Then there was Gloom, which tried to stop its defeat, however, it was inevitable. And then I had beaten my rival, and I continued through the tower. However, just on the next floor, we decided to come back at a later time with the proper preparations. Then I see some familiar faces run off with Cubone. Then I followed them all the way to Celadon City. While there, I made my way to the Celadon City Gym. And then I made my way to Erica, while avoiding trainers I probably wasn't supposed to be able to. And then I started my battle for my 4th gym badge. Her first Pokemon, Tangela. It wasn't a very strong Pokemon, so I used this opportunity to get massive stat buffs on my Butterfree, to then hopefully solo the rest of this battle. Next up, Grace, Vileplume. Typically she saves this one, but she knew how much of a threat my Butterfree was, so she tried to take it down as soon as possible. However, it couldn't stop my Butterfree. Then it was Weepinbell. Man, nothing could stop Butterfree. And then I got my 4th gym badge. Then I made my way to Saffron City with one goal in mind, find Mr. Psychic. And then I finally found him, Mr. Psychic himself, and then I got the TM I've long been waiting for. Then I made my way into the Team Rocket hideout and got an evolution in the process. Then once inside, I was able to get a costume to blend in with Team Rocket. Later on, I ended up getting another evolution. Then I returned to the Poke Center where I ended before my break. Once back, I furthered my way into the Team Rocket base and made my way to Jesse and Jane's. And unfortunately, I had lost the battle. Okay, yeah, no, we're cooked. Run it back. After that, I decided to use a new strategy and challenge them again, using Parasect as the lead for bait. With Parasect being out on the field, it made Arbok and Weezing target their move towards it, giving Butterfree a free turn to get a Quiver Dance off. However, Arbok and Weezing still didn't let it be an easy battle. And the second strategy ended up working really well. Then I quickly went to the Poke Center and made my way back to the boss's room. Inside the boss's room, I saw a Cubone and an unfamiliar face that challenged me to a battle. My first plan was to Sleep Powder and Quiver Dance with Butterfree. However, a quick flamethrower from Weezing with a burn made me waste a turn to heal, and not knowing how many turns I had left to boost my stats, I could only buff my stats once. And unfortunately, one buff wasn't enough, leading to Butterfree going down. Even after Butterfree went down, this Weezing kept on terrorizing my butt, going after Parasect next, who just barely survived the flamethrower.
The power of friendship.
However, my Parasect was able to finish Weezing off. Next up was this Golbat, which I had no idea how I could possibly beat, so I decided to reset. This time, I once again went with my original strategy, but this time without a burn. But Butterfree missed its Sleep Powder. Now let's try this. Again. Thankfully, on this attempt, Butterfree landed its Sleep Powder. Then I went for 2 Quiver Dances to buff my Butterfree enough to where I thought it could sweep his team. However, Weezing managed to survive my Butterfree Strength and Psychic. But thankfully, Weezing stayed asleep, allowing us to finish it off with 1 more Psychic. Then Golbat came out. And just like Weezing, it managed to survive a Psychic and took Butterfree down with a single crunch. Then I sent out Beedrill and decided to make a gamble on a Pin Missile. And with finally taking Golbat down, I had finally beat Archer. Then I once again quickly returned to the Poke Center to heal my Pokemon, and then I made my way to Giovanni. When the battle started, I quickly switched to Beedrill for a super effective Brick Break Impersion. However, it didn't go exactly as planned, and Beedrill went down. Then I switched to my other Beedrill for more Brick Breaks, but unfortunately once again, my Beedrill went down. Then I switched to Parasect, and I was able to finish off Persian with 1 last Leech Life. Then he sent out Rhyhorn, which I was able to take down in a single turn with a Mega Drain, letting me win the battle. With Giovanni defeated, I was able to get the Silscope and free Cubone to let it go back to Lavender Town. Then I returned to Lavender Town, and entered the Pokemon Tower once again. Once inside the Pokemon Tower, we met the ghosts from before, but with the use of the Silscope, we learned the ghosts' true identities, and we continued climbing the tower. After climbing the tower more, we learned about Cubone's mother. Then I made my way to the top of the tower, and right when I was about to approach Mr. Fuji, Jesse and James stopped me and challenged me to a battle. Once again, I used the bait switch strategy to be able to get a Clover Dance off on Butterfree. However, both Arbok and Weezing attacking my Butterfree was too much for it to handle, and Butterfree unfortunately went down. I then switched into Parasect to be able to revive Butterfree. I then switched into another Parasect to be able to fully heal Butterfree, but this time the opponents didn't really target take out Parasect. Instead they targeted Beedrill, which would allow me to do another bait switch. And then I was finally able to take Arbok down. And then Weezing went down shortly after, winning us the battle. I was then finally able to meet Mr. Fuji, and I obtained the Pokeflu. I then made my way to Fuchsia City. I then made my way to Route 15, where I caught my next team member. And afterwards I made my way back to the Poke Center where I ended for the day. At the start of this day, I caught another new team member using the Go part, since Scyther cannot be caught normally in this game. And later on, when I was trying to catch more Pokemon for Koga's Gym Challenge, I managed to find this. Then later in the day, I caught the last team member. Then before I stopped for the day, I made it to Koga's Gym. Day 6, all I did was level grind. I started the day off with my gym battle against Koga. My plan was to use the Clover Dance strategy and buff my Butterfree several times. But Weezing just had to wake up after one turn of sleeping to screw me over. And then, because of RNG screwing me over, I had lost the battle. After my Pokemon got healed up, I made use of the candy in this game, which in case you don't know, it makes your Pokemon stronger. A lot stronger. Then it was time for my rematch. This time I was getting my 2 quiver dances off for sure. But unfortunately, it still wasn't enough to OHKO Weezing, and once again, my Butterfree got poisoned. Even though my Butterfree went down, it still made good progress with Koga's other Pokemon, so now it was up to my other Pokemon to finish the rest. And then, just like that, we had won the battle. Then I made my way to the top floor of SoFco, where I met the president of SoFco in Giovanni, who challenged me to a battle. Once again, my strategy was the same as normal: Sleep Powder, Quiver Dance a few times, and then hopefully sweep. And just like that, Giovanni's team easily went down. And then the president of SoFco gave me the Master Ball.
That's it for the night, Kate.
Then I went to Sabrina's gym, and I ended for the day. To start the day, I entered the Saffron City gym, where I challenged Sabrina. And once again, I used a normal strategy of Sleep Powder plus Quiver Dance. And once I got all 6 of them off, Butterfree swept Sabrina's team. Earning me my 6th gym badge. Then I went to the Pokemon Mansion in Cinnabar Island. Inside the Pokemon Mansion, I fought the Ace Trainer for the Rot Slide TM, a soon-to-be useful move for Pinsir, especially in this upcoming battle. Then I made it to the basement, where I found the secret key to the gym. Then I went to the gym, where I did answered questions to fight Blaine for my 7th badge. I tried to do my usual setup, however, Blaine's Magmar wouldn't allow it. So then I switched to Pinsir to make use of that TM I had recently obtained. Little did I know this would be my hardest battle so far. To make it a lot easier for me, I used a lot of candies on my Butterfree and Pinsir. A lot of candies. Then it was time for my rematch against Blaine. Once again, I tried to use the usual strategy, but once again, Magmar wouldn't have it, waking up so quickly every single time Butterfree put it to sleep. However, Butterfree was able to put it to sleep right before it fainted, which would allow Pinsir to set up a Swords Dance or two, to then hopefully sweep the team. But then Pinsir missed its attack. So once again, I used a lot of candies on Pinsir and Butterfree. Then it was time for my second rematch. Once again, I tried to use the normal strategy. And even though Magmar kept on waking up, it actually worked. I then got my 7th gym badge and ended for the day.
That's it for today, guys. Wow, what a wonderful day. We made so much progress.
At the start of the day, I challenged Giovanni for my 8th gym badge. Then, once again, I used the normal strategy. Which easily swept his entire team, granting me my 8th and final gym badge. Then on my way to Victory Road, my rival Axel challenged me to a fight. Once again using the same strategy. Literally nothing can stop it, except for physical moves. So I then switched into Parasect to use Dig on Raichu, but Axel swapped Raichu out for Vileplume, so I started to use Leech Life a few times before Parasect fell. I then sent in Scyther to finish the job. Then he sent Raichu out again, and I tried to get one hit on it with Scyther before it went down, but it just wasn't possible. So I then sent out Venomoth, and I thought one Bug Buzz would be enough to take down Raichu. However, I was wrong. Then Venomoth fell, but then I switched to Pinsir to heal up Parasect to then wrap things up. Then Parasect was able to finish off Pikachu with one more dig. Then Atsu sent out Marowak, which we were able to take down with a few Mega Drains. And then just like that, we'd beat Atsu, and then we made our way through Victory Road. Then after making my way through Victory Road, I made it to the Indigo Plateau, our last and hardest hurdle so far. That's all for today.
I think we can do this. I think we can do this. We've made it this far, and I'm not giving up.
To start the day, I immediately took on the Elite Four, starting with Lurai, the Ice-type specialist. I did it based off the Champions level, but apparently the Elite Fours is a lot weaker. That kinda sucks. Then around halfway through the battle, I realized that when I leveled up my Pokemon earlier, I did it based on the Champions level Pokemon, not the Elite Fours, meaning I was kind of over-leveled for this fight. But Pinsir was able to solo Lurai's team, granting us our first victory. Then it was time for Bruno. This time I led with Venomoth, using the same strategy I used with Butterfree all the times before. Then once again, the only Pokemon I used was able to sweep the team, allowing us to beat Bruno for our second victory. Then we were up against Agatha. Once again, leading with Venomoth to use the usual strategy. Until Arbok woke up first turn, along with paralyzing us. However, even though Venomoth was paralyzed, it still outsped most of Agatha's team. It was strong enough to survive 2 Shadow Balls from Gengar. It was surprisingly able to solo Agatha's team. That being said, we secured our third victory against Agatha, and we were now moving on to Lance. One thing to bring up though, since our Pokemon were kind of over-leveled, and I wanted to be more challenging, I decided to not allow healing items to make it harder for myself. Another reason why I was saving Butterfree for more towards the end. This time I led with Pinsir again, and was able to get 2 Swords Dances off, which would hopefully be able to sweep the team. until Aerodactyl came in and outsped Pinsir and wiped out the rest of its HP with a single Rot Slide. So then I sent out Butterfree to try to use the usual strategy, and Butterfree avoided the Rot Slide, and then Butterfree missed its frickin' Sleep Powder! I then sent out Scyther, and once again my Pokemon got one-shotted. I then sent out Beedrill, and by using the power of friendship was able to survive 2 extra turns, but was barely able to do anything during those 2 turns. I then sent out Parasect, who was able to do a little more damage, but still ultimately fell. I then sent out Venomoth for our last hope, and Aerodactyl missed its Rot Slide, so Venomoth could possibly finish it off. But Venomoth was fully paralyzed, so it couldn't do anything! And then, just like that, we had lost on the final Elite Four member. On our second time through, the Lorelei fight went the same way, Pinsir using 2 sword stances and then sweeping the team for the win. Bruno's battle went the same. Almost. Bruno was beat and our bug was almost dead. Agatha's battle went pretty differently. I then sent out Parasect, who was able to deal a good amount of damage. I then sent out Butterfree to use the normal strategy. But once again, Arbok woke up first turn and paralyzed us again. Butterfree was able to take down Arbok, Weezing, and Golbat, but unfortunately lost against Agatha's first Gengar. Running out of options, I switched to Scyther to do a little bit of setting up before finishing the fight. Then, it was time for my rematch against Lance. This time I led with Scyther, hoping to max out my evasion and attack with Double Team and Sword Stance respectively. However, Lance's Seadra leaned into Hydro Pump, an 80% accuracy move 3 times in a row, even when my evasion was doubled. So it was less than 40% accuracy, and it still hit every time. Then I switched to Beedrill. Which was surprisingly able to take down Seadra after being hit by a Hydro Pump again. Then he sent out Aerodactyl, which finished off Beedrill. And then almost took down Pinsir. But then, Pinsir was able to land a Rot Slide. Oh. And then, once again, we lost against the last Elite Four member on the same Pokemon. Lorelei's battle went the same, except I only did 1 Sword Stance since I didn't think I needed 2. And the fact that I also misclicked a move against Cloyster. Besides that, the rest of the battle went the same. My battle against Bruno went the same as it did the first time. Against Editha, I tried to use a normal strategy, but I misclicked and used Sleep Powder twice in a row. And once again, Arbok woke up first turn and paralyzed my Pokemon with Glare. But thankfully this time my Pokemon broke free of paralysis. Oh my god, thank you. But then on the last Gengar, Venomoth was fully paralyzed, so it couldn't take down the final Gengar. But then... Oh my god, hold on! Oh... Then I sent out Butterfree to finish things off. Then it was time for my rematch against Lance.
Again!
This time I tried to use the normal Butterfree strategy. Which was able to work against Seadra. And then Butterfree was able to one-shot the Pokemon that used to terrorize our team! But unfortunately, Butterfree was not able to take down Gyarados. With things looking grim and me running out of options, I switched to Scyther, and I was going to set up at least 2 double teams and at least 2 sword stances if I wanted to win. Considering that Gyarados hasn't missed a single move, the chances of me getting my second sword stance wasn't looking likely. Thankfully, Scyther was then able to take down Gyarados with a single wing attack. Then came in Charizard, a Pokemon I thought we wouldn't beat, but oh my god, Scyther did it! Then came out Dragonite, and I thought if we took down everyone else in one shot, we could this too. But then, it just barely wasn't enough. But then Scyther managed to dodge an outrage, allowing us to beat Lance for the first time! After my battle with Lance, I learned who it is I need to defeat to become the champion. And it's... Professor Oak? It actually turns out Axel came here before I did, and he became the champion already. So all that was left for me to beat was my rival. And then, I can become champion with only my bugs. Mr. Axel will go down. Now I know I made my rule of no using healing items, but there's genuinely no way I could have won without using them. Now it's time for my final battle. I led with Butterfree to hopefully use the usual strategy, but I forgot that my rival Mega evolves his Pidgeot at the start of the battle, which then one-shot my Butterfree. And then Pinsir managed to somehow survive 2 air slashes, but both times flinched, so it wasn't possible to win this time. Oh darn, I accidentally closed out of the game. Oh, that's such a shame. Now it's time for the rematch. Once again, I tried to use the usual strategy. And this time Butterfree managed to survive an air slash, however it then missed its sleep powder. Axel, I need you to listen to me. You keep this up, I will not hesitate to use other means for this battle. Such as using, I don't know, some speed candy, some special defense candies, possibly the 2-player mode if you, I don't know, keep up the bullshit act. You know. Time for the rematch. Again. Once again, I tried to use the usual strategy. And this time Butterfree managed to land its sleep powder. But I didn't get enough turns to set up. If you do this one more time, Axel, I will resort to other means. And I will not feel bad about it. Like, I felt a little bit bad. was I like over-leveled a little bit for the Elite Four? But no. You listen to me and you listen well, so I will not hesitate. I will not hesitate to use other means that are necessary. Do I make myself clear? You might want to choose more wisely of what you use for your next battle. Time for a rematch again! Once again, Butterfree was able to land its Sleep Powder, so hopefully now this time we'll get enough turns to set up properly. But of course Pidgeot wakes up after 2 turns, because why wouldn't it? Wait, what? Thank God for the power of friendship! Oh, asshole, you just got so lucky. Alright, we're doing other means. You brought this on yourself, you little asshole. I didn't want to have it come to this, but I've been left with no other choice. I'm sorry, but I warned you. I warned you like 3 times. I hate to do this to you, but I almost feel kind of bad. You know, I almost feel kind of bad. But at the same time, why should I? Tired of losing so many times, I decided to use more candies. Then it was time for the final rematch. This time I'm gonna win. Butterfree was thankfully able to land its Sleep Powder. This time it was my fault. I for some reason thought 2 Quiver Dances were enough, which led to my defeat. I know. You're going down. You're going down. You hear me? You hear me? You hear me? You are going down. You're going down, little broski. You're going down. You're going down. You're not beating me. You're not beating me anymore. You're not gonna beat me anymore. Time for my actual last battle. This time I made sure to get all 6 of my Quiver Dances off before anything, and also healing my Butterfree whenever it got low. Then, after that, just like most battles, it became an easy sweep for Butterfree. And then, just like that, we became the champion of Kanto. We finally did it! We finally did it, buddy. We finally did it. Oh, the day is finally done. We finally did it. We did it. We finally did it. We did it. We did it. We did it, buddy. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Yes. 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 We did it. 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 Yes. We did it. We did it. Yes. 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 It looks like a bug catcher truly can become champion after all. Alright guys, so if you made it this far, I just want to thank you for letting me in this far. It really means a lot, because I didn't think this video would be this long, and I don't even know if this is going to fit on my computer, so I don't know how I'm going to fully upload it, but that is a problem. I will meet in about 10 minutes. But I am actually really sorry about how long this video is taking me to get it out. I've been working on it for in a few days. It will be a year, which I definitely should not have taken that long. And I am I genuinely feel bad about how long it's taken. And hopefully it will not it will not happen in the future. But school is starting up again along across country, so I don't know. I'm gonna still try to work on this, but I probably won't be fully able to. But in my defense, it's not a full excuse, but life just kind of happened. I ended up doing the driver's training right after I started this, and then I also managed to get a girlfriend. If I can get one, you can get one too, guys. Look at me. If I can get one, you can get one. And so we've been together for almost about a year now because Johanna's dating me, and she's also taking up a lot of my time, which I know but your girlfriend does need time, but I definitely should have paid a lot more attention to this because I finished this back in November recording, but I just have not gotten around to editing, which is my biggest problem. But in the future, I have a better plan for recording and editing sooner after. So hopefully it will not be such a problem in the future. And in the future, I will have probably more soon uploads, especially if my Roblox ends up working to be able to be recorded. But those will obviously be lower quality and shorter videos. But I will still try to get content out more consistently. But I didn't today, as of recording this outro. I made a very big investment that hopefully will be useful for this channel. This was a lot of money, by the way. So hopefully that will end up being beneficial for me and the channel. But anyways, see you soon. Hopefully see you in the next video. I'll try to put the thing to where YouTube recommends a video for you. Hopefully I'll be able to put that up right here in this corner. But genuinely, thank you so much for watching. It means a lot for you to be here. Have a wonderful day or night whenever you see this.